There's three items on there. It's the one called Prairie View Gates, something like that.
June 24, 2019, City of Prairie View City Council meeting will now come to order. Ms. Johnson, would you certify the quorum, please?
Councilman Rowland,
Present.
Councilman Randall,
Here.
Councilman Jones,
Here.
Councilman Williams,
Here.
Councilman Wallace.
Present.
Thank you, ma'am. If you would, we'll stand for our invocation and then we'll pledge of allegiance. Miss Catherine Reed, would you do us the honor of an invocation after such an incredible event over the weekend?
That's what happens when you're late. May we bow our heads in prayer. Gracious Father, God of our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, we bow before you this evening with humble hearts to say thank you. Thank you so much, Lord, for your goodness, for your mercy, and for your grace. Let your Holy Spirit fall down upon each and every one of us gathered here tonight. Open our ears so we can hear what it is you want us to hear. Father, help us to understand, and where we are confused, give us your wisdom and give us your knowledge so that we may be able to make use of what it is you want us to do. I ask you to bless each and every one of us here, and I ask it in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Let us all say amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of
The United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our first item on the agenda is the gates of Prairie View. Are y'all ready? You might need some assistance with Judge Alexander. Okay. While you all are setting up, we'll go on to the citizen comments. Ron Leverett.
Good evening, council, mayor and council. I want to call it, I guess, y'all are accustomed to me coming before you, and it's because I'm concerned about several things, but I'm going to try to hold it, keep it short today. One, Mayor, I want to make a comment. I noticed it's on your report, TCEQ, East Texas Precast. I think that there are several things that I hope you elaborate on it when you talk about it. You remember I brought to your attention some situations that relate to East Texas Precast and some violations. I think that they have since then submitted some information to you as well, requiring that the city, I guess, monitor as well as the state. But I still have some concerns. And I would invite all of the council members as well as the mayor to go on Old Houston Highway. We don't have a ditch. The trucks park all the way to the ditches are closed. We don't have drainage. And I invite all of y'all to go and observe the situation. As I said, I'm sure that CCEQ has advised them that certain things are happening in terms of the trucks parking on the highway, Old Houston Highway. And I have observed some of the things that they have, are coming into compliance with. In terms of watering the streets, they are doing that. I noticed that. And the dust is not as bad as it used to be. We're still working, it's still coming, but it's not as bad as it used to be. But I would invite, as I said, all of the council members to observe the situation and make a recommendation. if you have to make the recommendation to the county, whomever is responsible for a ditch, a drainage ditch, and not a truck park, I think we'll be in pretty good shape. And it is, even though it's listed East Texas precast, MCA Texas. And I'm sure that has to do with the mailing address. But I was really, since that we are in the city of Prairie, and I think that you were very proud of the fact that we do get a lot of support from East Texas precast. I wish it would be listed in the city of Prairie. I mean, I think that would be an honor since they're glad to be in our city. The second thing is, I brought a couple of things to your attention, and this could be detrimental to us. The city, I mentioned it to one of the, I think the assistant director to the utility department, as well as the council. On the top of the water tower, we have a light, a red light, and unless it changed, at one time that light had a timer. And the timer caused it to come on and go off at a certain time. Well, I observed it all the time because I can look across my yard at night, in the evening, the light is not working. Mr. Mayor, you will find out in the council that the state requires us to have it because of the height. If a low-flying plane hits that water tower, we're in trouble. So I recommend again, whatever it takes to get that light on, as it should be, and I have made mention of it more than once. So I want to call it to your attention once again, because we are in violation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sharon Tisdale.
Good evening, Mayor, Council, citizens. Situation came up today that I think that the council and citizens need to be aware of. Today, I got a phone call because my mother, 86 years old, dementia patient, walked across 4 lanes to go from her house to Royal Suite, or what used to be, PV Grocery. And a police officer was there and saw her and turned around and left without assistance or anything like that. According to witnesses, she tried to flag him down. And he said that he did not see her because I wanted to talk to him myself. And I have a concern about the services that are given to our citizens seem to be maybe selective, or I don't know. And it doesn't affect you until it affects you. And it affected me because anything could have happened to her. I got a phone call that said that somebody had picked her up. Anybody could have picked her up. I'm the caregiver. I was on my way to her house. My sister dropped her off, well, that's neither here nor there. We need somewhere where our seniors can maybe go when you have people who are working and have elderly parents, or even us at this point. I'm about to get that way myself. So, and we also need family housing, single family housing for those of us that want to come back and take care of our parents. And not at the cost of $700 a room like they charge college students. And the other thing is a youth center for the young people that are 18 and under, something for them to do in the city. So I do appreciate you all listening to me. There are several other comments, eyewitnesses that that sent in cards to say what happened, the incident today, because Dr. Godwin helped her across the street today. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Godwin? Lisa Stafford? I'm no records Bernice Webster?
The mayor, councilman, and those in attendance this afternoon. I've come to make a few comments based on my observation of the council since I've been attending. And I do not understand the antagonism, the negativity, a lack of respect, a lack of cooperation that I find that is exhibited by the council, by some of the council members. I am referencing the first call meeting and the second scheduled council meeting. In the first call meeting, there were 2 items on the agenda. And one seemingly that took priority was the abuse of power by the mayor by hiring an interim police chief. When that was brought to the attention of the mayor, he did distribute some literature that reflected that when Councilman Rowland was a council person under a different administrator, he voted for the chief that had not been approved by the council. Now, abuse of power is abuse of power. It doesn't have a time on it. If it happened in 2013 and 2019, as they said, abuse of power, then it was abuse of power. I repeat, if it was abuse of power one year, then the same thing that happened that year, 2013, was done in 2019, but it was abuse of power in 2019, but it was not abuse of power in 2013. And during that same meeting, I observed disrespect exhibited by Councilman Rowland. And no, I'm not picking on you, but you seem to be the mouth of the council. So that's, and as the meeting progressed, and they decided to go into an executive session. And I stopped Councilman Rowland to express my dislike of his behavior. And his reply to me was that the mayor should stop lying. So as a man thinketh in his heart, I feel, and we've heard that from time to time, so is he. So I am asking, and I have said that Rowland, Councilman Rowland does not live in Prairie View. And if he does, I challenge you. If you live in Prairie View, you ought to be making some type of contribution to the city. And as I said, it's not least. I would like to see, just bring to the group, if you're paying a utility bill, because we have lights, water, and gas. So which one are you paying as your contribution to the city? And now that's a challenge I'm putting before you, to make me out a lie. If not, then you'll continue lying. If you can't show evidence that you really live in the city of Prairie View, And no, I'm not using profanity, I'm using his words. That's the terminology he used for the mayor should stop lying. No, I'm not defending the mayor per se, I'm just defending what is right. Now, in the next meeting, the regular scheduled meeting, when it got down to reports by the council, when Councilman Rowland gave his report, he reported on the scouts. And let me say this right now, I have nothing against the scouts.
Ms. Webster,
Right?
your 3 minutes are up. You need some more time?
Yes, just a few minutes.
I move that we give Ms. Webster.
Second.
Thank you so much, I appreciate
It's been
that.
properly moved and seconded that Ms. Webster get a few more minutes. All of those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, have the same right? Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I talked too quickly again, I appreciate that. In that, now I've lost my train of thought, so let me get back where I was saying. That Councilman Rowland was giving his report, and he just discussed the Boy Scouts. What has he done for the city? Again, what I was saying is, I have nothing against the Scouts. Don't go out and say Ms. Russell talk about the Scouts. My children have been Scouts, down to my daughter, one daughter, and she was a Girl Scout. Now, the second thing that I have a problem with, it was a sign to me of disrespect. Oh, by the way, let me hastily interject this. Although Councilman Rowland talked about the Scouts, and then when the mayor gave his report, from the items that were listed there, from a dozen or more items on that same program as a regular council meeting, then Bryant had to criticize something relative to James Muse Parkway and had the audacity to request seeing something that the mayor had observed. And again, since Bryant has been on the council longer than Mayor Allen has been mayor, he should have observed the problem with James Muse Parkway quicker than the mayor. And the second thing I have an argument with is when the interim chief was giving his report, when interim police chief, when he came up to give his report, he was bombarded with questions, and to me that was so disrespectful. What is wrong with your taking notes on what is being said in council meeting, and at the convenient time, then raise those questions? Give him an opportunity to make his report, as he, I'm sure, had planned to do. And no, I am not in favor because anyone has worked here longer than anybody, that same person should be given preference or priority. You always, when you hire a person, you get the one that is, depending upon the number, if it's two better, if it's more than two, best, sort of interject a little grammar for you, best qualified. You don't get somebody here because, you know, they've been here longer than anybody else. And let me leave this adage with you. If you hire someone who's been here longer than anybody else, you're going to keep on getting, as the adage goes, if you do what you do, continue to do what you're doing, you always get what you got. Oh, let me say this since you give me a little more time. We had a good program Saturday, and very good program, and we've gotten so many negative comments about Panther Hill, but everybody seemingly enjoyed themselves. And as I noticed the program, that were listing of two of Mayor Allen's predecessors as mayor of Prairie View. Some had been here 12 to 14 years, I don't want to lie, and one has been here 9 years. And based on the contributions that were listed in this book, Mayor Allen has been here going on 3 years, and his contribution for the city of Prairie View was more than those who preceded him. So it looks like he is trying to move Prairie View. Yeah, right around 11. You've been here 9 years, you have more to say than anybody. So now it looks like we need to get behind Mayor Allen and push him, because we have a lot of construction going on in Prairie View, and let him do what he's doing. Don't criticize someone who's trying to move the city because maybe you don't like them. I see too much jealousy among our councilmen. Let's move the city of Prairie View. Thank you so much for giving me additional time.
Dr. Brown.
stand it down a little bit. Mayor Allen, city council members, and wonderful residents and friends of Prairie View, the city of Prairie View, 2 quick comments I want to make. Number one, I was just listening to Ms. Tisdale's comments, and I know that our police, I love our police. They're always on the job when I see them up and down the street. And one thing I remember very clearly is about 6 months ago, we had an incident at your mom's place, and your little daughter, it was 3 kids, and I was riding in a police car because I ride around with them sometime, and the policeman noticed that the little girl was just crying, crying, crying. He stopped what he was doing, went across the street to your mom's house, and pulled up and asked the kids what was going on. He was doing, responding to what the tears that he saw. And it just so happens that they were trying to get in your mother's house, and I think their father or grandfather was supposed to pick them up, and he was running late. But we got on the phone. Me and the policeman got on the phone and called everybody who knew you until we found you to come and pick up the kids. So sometimes the policemen get it right, sometimes they miss it. But I remember for a fact that day because the police was so concerned about those little children that were standing there crying. So I want to say that about that. Also, I want to say about the senior, she also mentions the senior citizen facility and the youth facilities. As a member of the EDC, we are currently working to make that happen in our city. No promises yet, but we are working, we are aware of that, and we are working on it. That is on the table. Ms. Webster happened to mention the event that we had, the community celebration event we had Saturday. It was so fabulous and fantastic, and I want to thank everybody that came out. We had standing room only at Panther Hill Apartment in their community room. We had this fantastic pool party. The little kids were out in the swimming pool. I had on my 2-piece swimsuit. I told them, y'all laughing, but it was 2-piece. It was a large, big t-shirt and some long swimming pants. That was 2 pieces. And I wanted to just take my time and thank Ms. Catherine Reed and the Historic Committee, because as Mr. Charleston, Judge Charleston said, that event that we were supposed to have for the summer celebration for the 50th birthday of Prairie View, it had been aborted. We had put it on the planning table, it had life in it, and because some things came up, the chairman, Judge Jackson, said, well, we just won't do this. So it had been an aborted effort. But God put it into the spirit of Miss Catherine Reed to pick it up and bring it back to life. She breathed life back in it. And she was just going like crazy. I never seen somebody. I said, dog, where'd she get that energy from? Calling me in the morning. She not told I don't do mornings. She calling me early in the morning. I'm getting up out of bed, running, doing this run. She's calling people, going places, picking up stuff, having, and she steered that historic committee to success. That was the best success in Prairie View that I have ever seen since I've been here. And I know we've had some successes. And it was just, Chief was there, and it was just beautiful. The older people who had been in Prairie View for years and years, they got up and told their story. Miss Carter got up and told the story, made all of us aware of what the rich history that Prairie View had, what people had to go through in order to have this city today. And the blood, literal blood, sweat, and tears is in the soil here of black people. So it was just a wonderful, wonderful program, and I just want to acknowledge Miss Reed. Can you come here? Because y'all know I like to acknowledge people. That's just me. This ain't no committee money that pays for this. My own money pays for this. Miss Reed, come here, Jill. On behalf of the Historic Committee, I'm going to give her this token of appreciation that you might have to have Chief to hold this for you because it's kind of heavy.
Oh, my goodness.
But I just want to, this woman, God put in her a spirit of excellence.
Yes, he did.
And I mean, she made sure every detail, even when we got ready to leave, she had the broom sweeping out by the pool area to make sure it wasn't one piece of trash left. It just touched my heart so much.
Okay, Peter, let me say this. To God be the glory. Everything I did, I had prayed for this. I asked God to make it be a success, and I said, Lord, just let somebody come. We put out 86 chairs, and we overflowed. We couldn't even seat everybody, and I think it's wonderful, but none of it was due to me. I think all of the praising to me goes to God. But I thank you all for feeling that way about me. Now I know why she rushed me up here. Hurry, you got. I said, what's going on? You got. I said, I can't make City Hall. She said, but you have to make this one because they're gonna say something about. But it didn't have to do with this.
I threw away off.
She told a lie. No. But thank you, and I appreciate everything. Amen. But anyway, you got to think of my call. Thank you all very, very much. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you all very much.
Item number 1, discussion and possible action on the, oh, okay, I'm sorry, thank you. Gates of Prairie, are you ready?
Good evening, everyone. Grateful to be here, to the council, to the mayor, and to the residents. We are at the gates at Prairie View, and we're building over off 290 University. So I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with it, but that's where we're going to be located. And we're building multi-family. We have a presentation for you that you're going to see a couple of slides in just a second.
Yeah, while you all are bringing that up, we'll go to item 1 while y'all continue. Ready? Discussion and possible action on the approval of city council meeting minutes dated May 28, 2019. What's council's pleasure? Councilman Johnson.
Mr. Mayor, I move that we accept the meeting minutes of last meeting.
Second.
May 28.
May 28th.
Okay, it's been properly moved and seconded that council accept approval of city council meeting minutes dated May 28, 2019. You've heard the motion, ready for questions?
So, what were the changes, what were the changes that needed to be made?
Agenda item number 10.
Number 10?
Call for the question.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed have the same right. Ayes have it. And presentation ready? Go ahead. Ms. Dunbar.
Thank you. So what we're doing again is at 290 University, over behind Alta Vista. We come in off of Elm Street and it backs up to Pecan and Pine. We're doing this in 3 phases. This is our 3rd phase you're gonna see here, which is what we're looking at. We purchased a 30-acre tract, and so overall, we want Prairie to have something great, and this is gonna be a resemblance of what we're building when we finish. Our projection to complete the entire project is 3 to 5 years. So as you can see here on the screen, this is what we're trying to bring on the frontage road, which will be retail that'll host 60,000 square feet of shopping, restaurants, as well as little workspace for apartment living on top.